In the rainy season of the year 1624, Ahmednagar's forces led by Malik Ambar had to lift their siege in Bijapur and take shelter at Bhatwadi after being hotly pursued by the combined forces of Bijapur and the Mughals. Malik Ambar was born in an obscure Abyssinian family in 1549. He was a slave who was eventually sold to one of the ministers of Murtaza Nizam Shah I of Ahmednagar. After the sudden death of his master, Ambar became helpless, and for more than 2 decades he struggled hard, serving as a soldier in Ahmednagar and Bijapur. Eventually, he rose through the ranks of Ahmednagar and started his career as an independent chieftain. The prevailing disorder and confusion afforded him a suitable opportunity to raise his stature immensely. He remained loyal to the Nizam Shahi dynasty after the fall of Ahmednagar and fully devoted himself to rebuild the Nizam Shahi kingdom. He first placed Murtaza Nizam Shah II at the throne, and later his son, Burhan Nizam Shah III. Ambar became the prime minister, and controlled the empire by proxy. Over the next few years, Ambar continued to put down various independent chieftains who were eager to grab power for themselves. He then turned his attention towards the Mughals, who were preoccupied elsewhere, and recovered much of the lost territory of Ahmednagar. This, however, did not go unnoticed by the Mughals, and they launched a fresh campaign against Nizam Shahi in 1608, which in turn allied itself with Bijapur. The Mughals were forced to sign a humiliating treaty and had to cede the fort of Ahmednagar. And they continued being defeated by the Nizam Shahi forces led by Malik Ambar, who had made alliances with Bijapur, Golconda, and Bidar in the meantime. Even when the Mughals did manage a few victories before 1616, the situation in Deccan did not become suitable for them. Out of desperation, the Mughal emperor sent Prince Shah Jahan to Deccan with a huge army. This proved to be a good decision. Shah Jahan offered peace in exchange of restitution of the conquered territories and payment of tribute from the sultanates of Bijapur, Ahmednagar and Golconda. Bijapur and Golconda readily agreed, and Ambar, fearing the enmity of his neighbors, had to accept the terms. Only 2 years later, in 1619, Ambar made an alliance with Golconda and Bijapur and recaptured Ahmednagar and Bairar. But a strong Mughal retaliation made him give back all the territory to the Mughals and sue for peace. Over the next 2 years, the Nizam Shahi and Adil Shahi relationship soured due to multiple reasons, and in absence of any Mughal threat on account of Shah Jahan's rebellion against his father and Mughals siding with Bijapur, Ambar ousted Bijapuri forces from Bidar, which was under Bijapuri occupation, and put a siege to the fort of Bijapur. As a consequence, Bijapur appealed for Mughal assistance, which was granted in the form of a heavy reinforcement. Golconda too joined the fray on Bijapur's side. The allies forced Ambar to raise the siege of Bijapur and retreat back to his territory, while pursuing him closely. He took shelter in the fort of Bhatwadi, about 15 kilometers southeast to Ahmednagar, and on the western bank of Kali River. He was cornered, but the Confederate army sat in inaction for 2 months due to lack of unity and a singular command, which allowed Ambar to play a waiting game. He intentionally caused flooding of the Bhatwadi lake, thereby barring the path of his enemies. Rainy season further helped his cause. His forces attacked and raided the enemy camps at night, and the provisions from Bijapur could not reach them for fear of Ambar's troops, thereby causing a severe shortage of food. Hunger and broken morale caused large desertions to the Ahmednagar side. The Confederates considered one last stand against Ambar, but their inaction continued. Finally, on a September morning, in 1624, Nizam Shahi forces attacked the Bijapuri camp suddenly, circumventing the Mughal camp completely. Before the Mughals, who were caught unawares, could even try to help their allies, Ahmednagar routed Bijapur completely and captured several high-ranking generals. The Mughals had to flee from the scene, and several of their own generals were also captured. After sending the prisoners to Daulatabad, Ambar besieged the fort of Ahmednagar. Leaving a detachment there, he marched against Bijapur, which too was besieged. Thus, he not only recaptured Ahmednagar's territories but also captured land from Bijapur as well as the Mughals. He also made an alliance with Shah Jahan, who had been driven from the north by his father. He finally had the opportunity to oust the Mughals from the Deccan forever, but his death in 1626 put an end to his checkered career. But, before his death he had the satisfaction of seeing the independence of the Ahmednagar kingdom remain intact. Thus, the Battle of Bhatwadi was indeed one of the most decisive battles in the history of Deccan. The victory saved Ahmednagar from annihilation, and engendered great confidence in the minds of the victors about the superiority of their military tactics and strength. Also, Ambar was the first Deccan statesman to conceive the possibility of raising a people's army out of the common Maratha people. These same tactics and visions were later incorporated heavily into the Maratha style of warfare. Quite possibly the patriarch of the Maratha Empire, Shahaji, the father of the great Shivaji, was present on the battlefield of Bhatwadi alongside Malik Ambar, learning from him.